go see what the snow's like? Yeah. Sweet girl. What do you think? What do you think? You look like you don't like it very much, my love. No. She says, I'm a little concerned, Mom. What do you think? It's snow! Are you my little snow baby? Yeah. This is concerning. Hello everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. Hi, hello. It's very Christmassy on the side of my apartment. I fucking love it. Hello friends, welcome to another weekend vlog. This weekend's gonna be pretty chill. Tomorrow's gonna not be like super chill though, and today was not as chill. Having plans 2 days in a row, my entire brain decides to short circuit. Man, I wish I was not like that, but alas I am. But like really good, fun, amazing plans where I get to see my friends. Like that I love. Like if I had to go sit in a Canadian Tire for 2 hours again, I'd be so mad about it. But like for an oil change or something, but like going to get to see my friends, prime. Tonight I went to go see Wicked for Good with my friend Alexander. It was so fun. I have not gone to see a movie all year. Actually, fun fact, that was on my bingo board for this year. To go see a movie, I get to go cross it off, which is very fun. Let's have a little look-see at my bingo board because it has been interesting 2025, my good friends. Well, 2025 has been interesting, but yeah, so today I went to go see Wicked for Good with Alexander, which was very, very fun. This is what it looks like. So we've been a bridesmaid, aka maid of honor. We have published a favorite fae. We have gone on a trip to go to my friend's wedding. We have kissed someone. We have gotten a cat. We've gone on a date. We've gotten 5,000 followers on TikTok, which was so fun to hit. We've read 100 books. We've gotten a final cover for a favorite fae, obviously, because it's now published. I've taken my grade 9 piano exam, and I've tried a new recipe. I've actually tried a couple new recipes. And so I get to now cross off, go see a movie, which is really, really, really fun. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here that I probably won't do. I think after this one, the only one that I have a chance of doing is finish watching New Girl. So, or host a movie night. I could just like impromptu host a movie night, but it is also December like 5th or 6th today. So who knows, man. I am hosting Christmas, so there's that. But another thing down, I did get one bingo at least with this bingo board, which is very fun. I highly recommend doing a bingo board at a New Year's situation. My friend Sophie and Tamsin are hosting New Year's again, which is where this is from. And they are planning on doing another bingo board, which is very fun. So we will have another one for 2026. And I've already been planning some stuff for my 2026 bingo. Oh, yeah. Anyways, hello, welcome to the weekend. That's what I did tonight. Went to go see Wicked for Good, and I liked it. I think it's going to be even better when I get to watch part 1 and part 2 together, because I remember watching part 1 and getting to the end and going, oh, like that's what people were so excited about? Like it doesn't really hit in the way that I thought it was going to. And then I was like, I think it's just because it's missing part of the story. And it is. I would love to like actually see it all in one, the way it's meant to be, the way that the musical is and all that kind of stuff, to like really get an experience for it. And I do have to say, the entire time, because our 3 main characters in this movie are played by such big like actors, like famous people. The entire time I was like, oh my god, look at Ariana Grande go. Like I wasn't even thinking of them as their characters. I like every once in a while I would slip into Elphaba and Glinda when they were like vibe, like that one scene where they're just fucking tearing into each other. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Here's Elphaba and Glinda. But the whole time I was like, oh, this feels like I'm watching actors play in a musical. Like it doesn't actually feel like a movie where they're like it felt like a weird disconnect. I don't know how to explain it. Like like they were doing such a good job. And I was like, go Ariana, go Cynthia, go Jonathan. Like I was like the whole time I'm just seeing their actors, which is wild to say because there's the scenes between like obviously Fiyero and like is a love interest, right? But Jonathan Bailey is so gay. So every time he's on screen, I'm just like, look at him go. Oh, Jonathan Bailey was born to flounce. Like, yes. But the movie was very fun. I cried. And it was great. It was a really good time. I'm really glad that Alexander and I got to go see that. I actually went to like an early screening, which is nice. Like we went to like a 4:10 screening, which highly recommend because then I got to come home at like 7 something and then do other things. I.e. sit on my couch, watch some random stuff. I actually ended up watching Love Actually when I got home because I was in the mood for a Christmas movie. I was actually in the mood for Arthur Christmas, but I could not find it on any streaming service, which is so annoying. So I'm gonna have to see if I can like find a DVD of it or something so that I can have it and like watch it at Christmas. I love that Christmas movie so much. Arthur Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas movies that I've watched in the past couple years, like as a newer one. Most of my favorite Christmas movies are ones that I've seen like as a kid that I absolutely love, like Home Alone and The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. And then more recently, it's been rom-com holiday movies like Love Actually and The Holiday and stuff. Like The Holiday is my favorite movie of all time, and I need to watch that one. But Love Actually is good in my opinion, but every time I watch it, I like it less, which is kind of funny because I watch that movie religiously every year. I used to watch it while I was like gift wrapping. When I lived with my parents, I would go into the basement, just put on Love Actually and gift wrap, which is really fun. Like it's not a good movie. It doesn't really hold up. And every storyline gets a little weirder the more you watch it, but like it's a classic. I have to put it on the TV, you know? And then like recently, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago now, I had a man over at some point in some Christmas and we were watching different holiday movies, and there was one that was like Your Christmas and Mine with the guy from Sex Education in it. Didn't really like that one very much, but we also watched Love Hard because I think my friend and I watched it at some point. I think Cassandra and I watched that movie at one point, and like it didn't really click. I don't remember if Cass and I watched it before this man and I watched it a number of years ago, but we watched Love Hard with Nina Dobrev potentially, and that one comedian guy. And Love Hard is surprisingly a good movie. Like I actually like it's one of my favorite weird little rom-coms that have come out of the Christmas movie genre. I also really like A Castle for Christmas. I think it's, what's her name? Sigourney Weaver? Is that the one? And like the super Scottish guy. It's so Hallmark movie, but like it's one of the Hallmark movies that like has stuck with me. I really like that one too. But I always have to watch Home Alone and Home Alone 2, bangers. And I always have to watch The Santa Claus, because that one is my favorite movie from a kid. And I don't know why, but I associate it with watching it with my parents, specifically my dad, on Christmas Eve. And so we always have to watch it on Christmas Eve. And Christmas with the Cranks. Have to watch that one around Christmas, even though it's so dumb. It's Tim Allen. He is Christmas to me, apparently. Anyway, so I watched Love Actually tonight. But yeah, so that was my day today. And then tomorrow, I am going to be going to the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, the WSO, to watch How to Train Your Dragon live in concert. And that is my favorite animated movie. I am beyond excited. I have my ticket, and then I'm also taking my friend Sophia. I'm so excited because Sophia and I are now doing like a girls' evening afternoon tomorrow before going to the WSO. So tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. It's gonna be a lot of walking around, a lot of shopping, a lot of just like bopping around and perusing and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really fun. I'm hoping to get a seasonal coffee at some point, probably from Prairie Ink, because I know we have plans to go to McNally. No books will be bought. I'm still on my book buying ban. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day, and it's gonna be a fun day, I think. So, and then we get to see How to Train Your Dragon in concert. I will cry because that movie makes me sob every time. I love that movie so much. I love that movie so much. Anyways, another thing crossed off my 2025 bingo, bored. I think I can only do one more after this, which is finish watching New Girl. Because I'm not going to go to a pottery class. I'm not going to meet someone. I'm not going to go back to the gym because I canceled my gym membership earlier this year. I'm probably not going to have a board game night because I think the next board game night is going to be scheduled in the new year. I'm not going to be recording an audiobook, and I'm not going to finish the draft for Far Horizons Book 1. There's just too much work there. I might host a movie night, to be seen, and I'm not going to get my wisdom teeth taken out because fuck that. But I guess before going to bed, I should catch you up on my crafts because that's a thing. I will probably be doing an ornament at some point, maybe. Very fun. I'm also planning a craft night with my friends. Hopefully that'll be happening this week coming up because it's like a Christmas specific craft night. If anything, I will bring Sophia to my house and we will do it because I know she wants to, like, one of her things tomorrow is to go to the thrift stores and see if she can find like good Christmas decor because this is the first year in her house. So might be doing more felt ornaments. Other than that, I have started a new project of mine. So if you've been around for a couple weeks at least and watched some of my reading vlogs, you'll know that I have complained or waxed poetic, if you will, about the idea of the Sophie scarf as a knitting pattern, which I still think is a ridiculous pattern. It's one of those like fashion, like super thin scarves. Granted, I did kind of make my mom like super thin fashion scarf for Christmas, which is really funny now that I think about it. But another one of Petite Knit, which is the designer, another one of her patterns is called the Sophie hood. I have been eyeing a lot of these knitwear hood scarf situations because as someone who lives in a very cold area, the winters can get very chilly and very wintry and very, very, very fucking cold. I don't wear hats because I don't like the way they squish my hair. And if I wear a hat, I have to like commit to the bit and wear the hat all day, which gives me a headache, which I don't want to do. I'm not a hat person, but I am a scarf person. And then I've seen some people wear like knitted hoods and like, they're like, yeah, like when you're in a store, you can like take the hood off and it acts as like the scarf. And I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. And then I've seen a lot of people make the Sophie hood and do the same thing. And I'm like, that's brilliant because I love a scarf, but also if I'm outside, like something warm over my ears would be lovely. So it just seemed nice, kind of like a compromise and I have no projects left to do for friends or for my parents until I get the yarn in from Rito for their sailor slippers. So I'm waiting on those. I still have to finish my sailor slippers. I just haven't been working on those. I was like, I'm gonna cast on a project for me. And I ordered this gorgeous cobalt blue yarn. It is so hard to see in this lighting. I'll have to show it to you better in like sunlight, but it is stunning and gorgeous. And I've had to learn how to wind it myself, hence the random piece of paper in between here. Hand wind the skeins because the skeins have come as like a hank, if you know what I mean. So I had to figure out how to wind it. And I'm addicted to this scarf. I just want to do it all the time. But I can't just do it. I can't just bring it with me because I have to keep track of how many rows I'm doing because I have to do increases. You ready for the most chaos page of life? I have to do increases every 10 rows. So I've been keeping tally of how many rows I do of each kind so that I know if I've done 10 rows, I'm ready to do another increase. And then when I have to do the other side of this scarf and do decreases, I can match the amount I have done. That is the plan. I'm doing the large, but I am doing it with one size smaller needles. So the pattern asks for size 5mm and I'm doing it in 4mm needles. So it is working up slower than it should be, but it really only matters to get to like a size, not a stitch number, the pattern says. So I am currently this far in, and this has to get to 25 centimeters, which we are not far off now. Where are we now? We have 25 centimeters. We are currently at about 20 centimeters? Yeah, just about 20 centimeters on the needle. So I need to do another 5 centimeters of growth. So that's going to be a fuck ton more. It's probably going to be like up to here or something of like 10 row increases, which has been really fun. And this has been like addictive. Whatever this pattern is, and this yarn is so wonderful. It is Estelle Knits Estelle double knit in 530 cobalt, and I am obsessed. Solid blue, vivid. I am so fucking obsessed with this yarn. I just, and has been an utter delight to work up. So this is what I'm going to be probably working on this weekend the most. I do want to actually finish knitting my sailor slippers this weekend as well. So I'm putting that in the universe. That is a goal of mine. So that will also hopefully be a thing. And maybe I'll even felt them. Who's to say? But I don't want to put that in the universe. I just want to finish them. So I have to finish the second sole, I believe. I'm halfway through a row. Okay. Anyways, this is halfway through a sole, and then I need to sew both of them together and do the I-cords. That is the goal for this weekend. Anyways, I've been absolutely yapping. For books that I'm going to be reading this weekend, I started reading Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, which I haven't been reading at all in December yet. I literally had no books on my currently reading because I went through an DNF'd book that I'm just never going to pick up. I just don't ever want to. And then I moved two of the books that I was like currently reading onto a paused list on Storygraph. So I had nothing in the moment. So I was like, well, this is the book that I wanted to start. And I've been meaning to start it for days now. So finally I've started. I'm on page 157, 44% of the way through. And I'm having a great time. It's so lovely to just sit and let it happen, you know? Love this. And then I did get I got approved for Nobody's Baby by Olivia Waite, which is the second in her Dorothy Gentleman series. So I have that novella. I also got my final pre-order in the mail, which is The Sacred Space Between. Look at this fucking book. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is so pretty, like an unreal amount of pretty. So I have this now. I do really want to read Dawn of the Firebird, which I got last week in the pre-orders. So we have officially reached all of the pre-orders, which is amazing. And then I have this cozy that I've been wanting to read, and then this sequel that I've been wanting to read as well. So who's to say what I end up picking up other than the cozy book, if I finish the cozy book, of course. Shouldn't take me that much longer, but we'll see what I end up getting up to tomorrow with my afternoon/evening of spending time with Sophia. But hopefully I actually get some reading done, get some books down. I just want to be cozy, just want to be reading, just want to be crafting. So that's what we're going to be doing this here weekend. But yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I can't even say welcome to the vlog because I'm 20 minutes into this recording. So let's just see where things go from here. Happy Friday. I'll see you tomorrow for Saturday.
My goodness. Is that a beautiful Christmas girl? Wow. Oh.
good. You gonna play with me? Hello friends, it is I, happy Sunday, technically Monday. I'm here currently playing with my child, or trying to, because she's sitting in the corner there. Where is she? Just like lurking. She's not, you know, engaging in the playtime we have, what she is. She's doing her like I want to just stalk in the night. Anyways, hello, happy Sunday. I thought I'd pop in, give you a little update. Saturday was wonderful with Sophia. I had such a great time. We ended up going on our little like thrifting bookstore situation. I picked her up at like 3:30 and then I think I got home at 10 or after 10. It was a long day, but it was a great day because the thrifting was fantastic. I ended up getting 2 little frame with art prints and a little snowman guy for like Christmas decoration, and also like old Christmas paper, like wrapping paper that I'm really excited about for like $1. I'd like spent like $9 there. And then I didn't buy any books. I barely even looked at the books. I was gonna get some movies, but I was gonna get the Return of the King, but it ended up being, the DVD was not in its case. So I ended up not getting that. But I didn't get anything at the second thrift store. Didn't get anything at McNally. We just had a little gander, a little walk around. And we ended up getting dinner at McNally and then going to the WSO. And I basically cried that entire time. I love that movie so much. We saw How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know if I said that. That is my favorite animated movie. It was just so good. And there's something so special about seeing a movie with an orchestra, a live orchestra, like doing the music. And like seeing a movie, I said, I told this to Sophia, but like seeing a movie that I wouldn't have seen in theaters, or like wouldn't have had the opportunity to see in theaters, like when I was going to see the Star Wars movies, that was so fun. Because 1, I've never seen them on a big screen, and 2, you get to see them with other people who are so excited to be there, who are like collectively have decided that this is going to be like a pretty interactive movie experience. So like no one's really talking or anything, but like when characters get introduced on screen, people cheer, or like when big moments happen, or like when really well-known music pieces get played, like people like cheer and all this kind of stuff, which is not necessarily like an orchestra's vibe, but it is just so genuinely fun. And it was so great. How to Train Your Dragon was just so wonderful. I had such a good time, and Sophia and I did barely make it there on time. We left with like plenty of time to get there, but by the time we rolled up, there was no parking anywhere. So we just drove around for 20 minutes trying to find somewhere to park, and then parked really far away, and it's really fucking cold out. So it's like minus, I think it was like minus 20 something. When we were running in, not fun. We ran in, ran past the ticket guy, like just like sat down in our seats as the movie was starting. So we just made it, which hate that, but it's okay, we made it. And I didn't have to pay for parking because I parked in a spot that was like in a like retailer's parking lot, which we love. So anyways, that was my Saturday. And then today I ended up finishing, she's like staring daggers at me. I ended up finishing Emily Wild, which was good. It's not my favorite. I kind of just coasted through that one. Like, I'm glad that I finished the trilogy now. It's another trilogy off my list, but I don't have very many feelings towards that book. The second one in that series is still my favorite. I think one day I might reread all 3 just to see if my opinion changes on the first and the third, because like the first and the third are pretty even in my brain now. Like, they were just fine. I was just coasting through them, but I absolutely love the second, so I know it can hit. So maybe it was just the time that I was reading it. I don't know, but I'm really glad that I finished that. We love that. Very cozy, very wonderful. The audiobooks are amazing. I was listening to that when I was knitting. Then went over to Mom and Dad's today. My aunt and uncle were there. We had a really delicious dinner, all that good stuff. And then I didn't realize it was like 9 o'clock by the time I came home, or by the time I left. I was like, oh my God, it's 9. Oh, I didn't even notice. Came home, did some more knitting, and then decided to start Dawn of the Firebird, which I am like 91 pages into, I think. 90, 91. And I am really enjoying it. I Really like the vibe of the way it's written. The audiobook narrator is amazing. I'm really enjoying her stuff. I feel like I know her from somewhere, but she's doing like an absolutely stellar job. And then we have just, I don't know, like the writing is so beautiful, and it's definitely very description heavy. It's not very dialogue heavy, which is fine because it actually reminds me a lot of like She Who Became the Sun and that style of writing, but less historically vibe. That's a way to say. Like, I remember picking up She Who Became the Sun for the first time by Shelley Parker Chan and going, oh, wow, this is like kind of reading like a historical book. Like, this is giving that vibe. This one is not giving that vibe, but it is definitely the level of high fantasy like that. And I think I've missed reading high fantasy a little bit recently. So I'm really enjoying it. I am not confused by anything yet. Things seem pretty straightforward right now. And I'm really interested by our characters that have been introduced. Our main character's super awesome and like badass, and she's like 13 years old when this book is starting, and she's ripping apart people because it's like, you know, she's trying to save people, and she gets to court essentially because she's like an emperor's daughter that has not yet been named or claimed by the emperor. So she's lived her whole life without a name, and so her mom, when their tribe gets like annihilated basically, and her innate, like, not necessarily innate, but like her powers come to be, our main character's powers, because that's one of the catalysts of this book. They go to the emperor to like claim or like to plead refuge, and basically the mom's like, this is your daughter, and he's like, I don't really give a shit about this person, get out of here. And then her mom's like, no, but you're gonna want her in your court because look at what you can do. And so basically her magic wins her a place there, train amongst the monks, and like immediately she's there for like 3 days, and she immediately starts getting trained in poisons, because poisons are the like lifeblood of this place. 3 days in, her, like the emperor's first wife, poisons this 13-year-old girl at dinner through her own daughter, so like our girl's half-sister. And so she gets poisoned 3 days into court, and then she, instead of like dying or submitting or running away or anything, she's like, all right, bet. I'm gonna earn my place in this fucking court. And then she comes back and like does this really intense thing, and she basically like wins her entire family this part of the court's like favor because of like how she stands up for herself. And I think that's awesome. Like, I really enjoyed the vibe of our main character so far. Other than that, I really like her older brother. He's so wonderful. I really hope nothing bad happens to him. We're also getting like whispers of like intrigue and like betrayal and all this kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to keep going. I only got 90 pages in today, but we love. Anyways, I am going to get into bed and continue to play. My blanket is just covered in like whip marks right now from this thing. But yes, so that was my Sunday and my Saturday. Lovely. I've been knitting. I finally finished the sole of my second sailor slipper, so now all I have to do is sew them and then do the I-cords and then felt them, of course. So I'm almost done them. I know I said at the beginning of this weekend that I wanted to finish them, but maybe not. Maybe tomorrow I'll get the juju to sew them together. I've heard so many people complaining about sewing these together, and I also have to like learn a new sewing stitch to like put them together, which is probably going to just take a lot of time. And I know sewing anything together in the knitting or crocheting world just takes so much time. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow when I get home from teaching. Who's to say? Anyways, that is the update, my friends. It's been a good weekend. It's snowy and it's cold, and we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Like, looking at this week coming up, I have my friend's birthday on Saturday and a potential craft night this week with a couple of my friends for ornaments and stuff. And then the following week, I have Christmas here with my friends on the 19th. And then like the next week is Christmas. So I'm befuddled truly at how fast this year has gone. But I finally finished one book in December. I've read my first book of December. So hopefully for the rest of this month, I can kind of just chug along with my reading and read some good books and stuff. Because I also need to look at my content calendar and see like where I'm at with like when I have to film almost faves and faves of the year, because that kind of also dictates things. That is coming up. Like this week I think is almost faves and next week is faves. I gotta think of that. And then I have like my end of year videos that I always film that I gotta film a little in advance because I don't know where I'm gonna be like last few days of the year, you know, kind of a thing. I mean, I do know I'm gonna be here, but I'm also gonna be at the cabin a couple days. So I just wanna make sure that everything's lined up and ready to go. Anyways, that's the update, my friends, for me and this here little lady who's just lurking. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow for Monday. But yeah, it's been a good weekend. Kind of productive, kind of cozy, full of friends, and it's been great. Just went looking for my child. And she's in the little corner, happier than a clam. Hi, baby. Hi, beautiful girl. Oh, she's so happy with herself. Hello, friends. Happy Monday, and welcome to the end of this vlog. Thank you for tuning in to this here weekend. It was a busy one. I not only got to see Wicked for Good, I not only got to see How to Train Your Dragon in concert with the WSO, but I also got to see my friends and read a book. I finished the Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. I have not run through Compile though, but I'm thinking it's probably like a 3.5 star. Didn't impact me at all. Haven't really thought about it. So there's that. What else can I tell you? I've also started Dawn of the Firebird. Very fun. Haven't read any more of it today because I was about to say it's Sunday. No, it's Monday. I also got this friend. This is the friend I got from the thrift store. Isn't he a sweetheart? He's such a cutie patootie. I also got, let me just show you. I got this frame and piece of art, and also this one that is on my wall. And I had a comment today, I think, come through that was like, oh, I'd love to see like the art on your walls. I'm so interested by it. So these are my little like next to my TV, Mark, because I'm watching Distractable. This is my TV kind of situation. This is a little cross stitch that my friend Yeleni did. This is another one that she did, and that's Sophia. And then I thrifted these two. And then that macrame my friend Hannah did for me 1 year. On this wall and on that one there, I just have two prints that I got from, I think, HomeSense way back in the day when I moved. And they're a little lopsided. I know, it's fine. They're on command strips, so I can't really tilt them. And then we have this wall, which is my big wall that I add to every once in a while. This is just my big gallery wall. So what I've done is I've taken a lot of just like photos, art, that kind of a thing. That lady there with the sunflowers and this lady here with the sunflowers, they are from the same artist in Australia. I can't remember her name, but yeah, I painted this one myself. This long chain here is actually like a sun catcher that you're supposed to put in your window, but I don't get sun in my windows in my place. Like it doesn't like shine through the window, so it like doesn't create the effect. So right now it's just up here. It used to be hanging down here, but Freya got to it and was messing with it, so I moved it up. That is an ornament that I made last year, I think, or the year before. That is a cross stitch that I made. That is myself and my father in Disney World when I was like 6. This is a piece of art that my friend did for me. I commissioned her to do like a final scene in my middle grade. So this is a final scene from my middle grade that I had her commission, and I love it so much. More pictures of my friends. There's my mom and I in Florida in Disney World. Fun. I'm wearing the same outfit because it's the same day. We've got Phoebe's card that she made me, which is the very first piece of fan art I've ever received of A Second Story. I'm obsessed. This is the bookshop with a little sold sticker. So of course I had to frame the card. More pictures of friends, a group shot there, a triple there. This is a framed photo of my mom and I on a vacation way back. You can tell that it's really old because I'm shorter than her, and I haven't been shorter than her since I was 11 years old. I have a poem here that my friend wrote for me. Yeleni wrote this for me, and I printed it out and I put it on my wall. More photos of friends. Of course, the COVID era. This kind of round thing is something that I just found at HomeSense or something. I liked the vibe of it. I liked the shape of it. And then this house painting on this side is something I thrifted. And then that little friend is a piece of art that I got at the queer like show, the queer books show, queer author thing, queer vendor thing that I was a part of in September. Can't remember the name of it. It's one of two that I got. The other one is on my bookshelves over there. And then I framed it in just a frame that I picked up from Valley Village. I'm always getting frames from Valley Village because I love Valley Village's frames. And if I see a cute one for like $2-3, I'm gonna grab it. Then we have Freya, of course, over here. Up here we have another little cross stitch that one of my friends made. And then we have Rose, who is this, like, I commissioned the same artist, which is my friend, who also is my cover designer. Fun fact, Tess. I commissioned them to do Rose as well. This is the character from my YA that I'm going to bring into a dystopian adult fantasy sci-fi eventually. But she was one of my first characters in my head, and that is Rose. More friend pictures. This is actually from University Grad. We have Bella here and my dad. And then we have a quad of postcards that I found on Etsy. It was a whole pack of postcards. I have them everywhere, and they are of Taylor Swift's Evermore album, all the songs that I really like. So that is that wall of my, of my art and my friends and all sorts of stuff. I do have a couple more frames. I have this little baby one, and I have this one here as well that I will eventually do something with. I do want to get some photos from my friend's wedding on my wall at some point. But yeah, I really like this, and I did it in a dynamic way so that it I could add on to it and grow it in multiple directions if I wanted, just to keep things interesting. Yeah, that is what is on my wall. And then I have an art piece at the end of my hallway, and I have another cross stitch over here, not a cross stitch, embroidery that I did over here on this wall, which is very fun. That is my little tour of my art on my walls, I guess. I love art. I have a bunch of other I'll show you what I have in my bedroom too. Up here in my bedroom, I have 2 shelves. I have this cutie little photo of Bella when she was so teeny tiny. This was like one of the first couple weeks we had her. These frames are also a little dusty. This is one of my favorite family photos that my family and I have ever taken. Mom, dad, me, and this is our old dog, Rudy. This is a long time ago because he passed away in 2015, and this is before we got Bella. A picture of Freya, which is very sweet because she's smaller than the lamp, and now she's bigger than the lamp. Like, she sits, like, her head's about here. And then I have this book lover metal plate thing that I picked up from IKEA that you can mount on a wall. It was very dusty, but I decided to just leave it there. Up here, I have this plant. It usually, is supposed to be, all the way down, like a big tendril thing, but Freya plays with it. So it's all bundled up. This is a tiara from my friend's bachelorette party, I do believe. I just put it there. Speaking of that friend, there's a photo of Cass and I in our senior year of high school. We were taking photos for a potential co-presidency. We ran for co-presidents, which was really fun. We did not win, but we have great photos coming out of it, and this is my favorite one from said photo shoot. My friend did a cross stitch of my very first DM'd D&D campaign called Witchy Children. My grandma and grandpa. Oh, and there's another one of those things that's in there, very lopsided, but yeah, lots of different art and lots of different things. Anyways, that's the tour. That is the tour, my friends, of the art in the apartment. I love adding stuff. I love finding cute thrifted things, and I'm gonna end this vlog here, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this weekend. It's been a good one, and I'll catch you very soon for another video. Stay kind and keep on reading.